science, right? It's just science.
Hey guys, do you guys want to review a Kickstarter that was on Forbes, N4G, and Kotaku all on the same day?
Yeah, sure. What's it called?
Sui Generis.
Hi, my name is Marek Evans. My friends and I recently started a company called Bare Metal Entertainment, and we're developing an RPG, Sui Generis. This game is something we've been wanting to do since we were teenagers. Back then, technologies were changing really fast, and in our naivety, we thought that anything was possible. We played a lot of open world RPGs, and we imagined that soon these would be very realistic simulated worlds. We got really excited about this, and it became our life's ambition to make such a world. The RPGs that inspired us had primitive or no technology, but we did see technology as playing an important role in their evolution. Our goal was to make a more believable and lifelike world, a world filled with intrigue where we have complete freedom of choice. Technology is a means to make this world more interactive, to give us more choice in what we do and how we do it. Over the years, our vision has grown to include many goals, and we're also keen on our game having high production values. We too have grown, from excited teenagers to professionals, and we're very much aware of the difficulties we face. We're a small team talking about an ambitious project and a whole bunch of things that have never been done before. We had to prove we could do this. About a year ago, we decided that time had come. Today, we've done everything we said we could, and much more. Hi, my name is Marek Evans. My friends and I recently started a company called Bare Metal Entertainment, and we're developing an RPG, Sui Generis.
So welcome to Kickstart, the show where we review Kickstarters and predict if they will succeed or fail. I'm Conrad.
I'm Grant.
I'm Curio.
And that's Peter. Today we are reviewing Sui Generis, and
Holy shit.
this game looks awesome.
Yeah.
So right now their goal is set at 150,000 pounds, and I think they have about 38,000 pounds with 19 days to go. Interestingly enough, they only gave themselves 1 month to complete their goal. What do you guys think?
Hopefully that's all they need, because this looks phenomenal to me. I'm
Absolutely.
excited.
Very cocky. I don't know why I went with that time, but I think they will make their goal.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, they got pumped up on Kotaku, Forbes. I saw it on Flipboard. That's how I found out about this. Yesterday, on Friday, I guess, before we filmed. But yeah, I'm extremely excited. I was watching it, my mouth was like dropped. It was like, this is what, like Diablo 3, this is what, this reminded me of Neverwinter Night. It's like this kind of like complete control, like building your own game, It's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. I can't wait to see if they include that editor. Right now it doesn't sound like they definitely will.
Mm-hmm.
I think that editor is almost essential though to this game's success.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Well, think about Neverwinter Nights. It was a great game. It came out over a decade now, showing our age. But they had, you finish the storyline, and then people started making their own games, making their own stories, their own worlds, and that's where the life and breadth of a game comes from,
The replayability of it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Yep. Whether you can waste your entire life on it or just a portion of it.
right. Exactly.
That's exactly correct. Yes.
Oh my god.
So right now they have about 17,000 backers and 2,000 likes on Facebook, which I think is a little weird, but hopefully those people can find the $15 or so it takes to pump into the game.
Mm-hmm.
Because I would like to see this succeed. I think all of us are already in agreement on that.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Very nostalgic for all of us.
Very exciting. I was watching it. Okay, so let's start about the breaking it down. It was a tech demo of a pre-alpha version of a game, or alpha, I guess, but basically pre-alpha. It was not populated yet. The world's there, but not really, very much. They already had the physics, and they were showing the actions and stuff. I thought the coolest thing was there was no animations. It's all based on the physics and what's happening to you in the game at this right time.
Absolutely. Not just that, but he was also saying that in the comments, if you are casting spells and you get hit in the head hard enough, you'll lose your concentration, and the skeletons that you spawn as your minions will disappear.
No, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And I thought it was cool, the death at the very end of the video. Guy gets crushed. You actually could see it, see his body flail. It wasn't just he lost all his health points. He got killed. It was cool. It was definitely interesting.
Yeah, we still don't even know what kind of system they're going to use. I don't think they're going to use a regular health system. They've been playing around with it. They said they haven't settled So it's going to be different. It's not going to be just HP going down.
There's no levels. I thought that was interesting. It's all based off skills and stuff like that, you know?
Yeah, so right now they said right off the bat, this is not a game about experience points. This is not a game about killing monsters. It's an interactive world where events happen and the world changes in accordance to the player's interaction with those occurrences.
Right. And I think that's a good thing, because there's games like Diablo 3 that were supposed to come out and be like you're fighting hordes and hordes of minions, and then, or bad guys, monsters, whatever you want to call them, and then I don't know what happened to that, because the game isn't like that at all. But they focused so much on that and not really on the storyline at all. The story sucked. And so this game, I feel like it's based on like you are the character. It's completely immersive. It's going to be...
Well, we don't know if there's going to be a story. They didn't actually mention anything about it. There's a blurb about, how it's going to be intriguing and things like that. But we don't know anything about a story. It's supposed to be more gritty than your average game. It's supposed to be darker, but that's all we know.
Well, yeah. They also said that every character basically starts out as just a peasant in a village, and you build your way from there.
Right.
You make your own story in the game, so to speak.
Right. And they said that they pointed out one good thing and one interesting thing. I don't know if it's a good thing. They said every battle will be like very important. It's not gonna be like you're gonna run out in the field and kill like 10 rats for a quest. It's supposed to be like pretty meaningful each fight, because they talk about permadeath and stuff like that. They haven't really, obviously it's so early in the game, they don't know what they're gonna do yet, but they have all these like ideology about the game of like it's permanent. Like you're gonna, if you die, it's a big deal.
Yeah, and Kira, you brought up some questions about death.
Well, I was reading online on the forums, PC Gamer, and places like that. One of the biggest questions that people have is a lot of video game companies have promised pervasive worlds, but really they're not. And so, we don't know if there's going to be true pervasive. Pervasive would mean that if you're on a mission and you die, then you failed that mission, and that world will change based off, if you're out to rescue a little girl and you die during the mission and you revive somewhere else, then technically that little girl should be dead at the end of that quest, and you should not get a chance to do it. Now, pretty much every single game that's come out so far doesn't do that. They let you redo the mission. So we'll see if your decisions truly are pervasive, if it is permanent, if there are consequences to dying or not.
I think it's kind of like, okay, I think back to EverQuest, for example. When the game first came out and you died, your body was there with all your items, and you had to get back to your corpse and do all this stuff, right? You lost XP on top of that, all this stuff. And the reason I'm saying that is like, since then, that was like one of the first big MMOs. They catered to like the common man, casual gamer with, let's restart like Diablo. You don't lose any XP. World of Warcraft, you barely lose any XP. You don't really lose your items. You start back, ready to go again. Ready to go. And I think since they're not a big development or a big company, I was just like 5 people. They're talking about if they get even more than they need, then they'll get more people to help do different things. But they don't have to answer to anybody. They're gonna make this game exactly how they wanted to make it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think another thing is this is kind of a throwback to all of us in terms of difficulty. We all grew up with Nintendo Hard.
Yeah.
No save points. You started the game and you finished the game in one setting. Otherwise, you turn off the Nintendo, turn it back on.
There's no easy hard or easy medium hard. It's you play till you die. It gets harder till you. That's what games should be like. That's what people are losing the focus of games. They're not movies. They're like a challenge. It should be a challenge.
That's not true. Some games should be like movies. Some games like Uncharted.
Okay.
Mass Effect.
But
had an awesome ending. I heard.
It does.
But
Awesome.
Things like Neverwinter Nights, though,
Mass Effect 1 had an awesome ending. Let's just make sure that...
Clarify that, yeah.
Clarify that.
So we are talking about Mass Effect 3.
Right.
And being sarcastic.
They had a DLC that came out and fixed that, right?
Barely.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Back on topic, guys. So, we have games like Uncharted with great stories and great plots, and Mass Effect 1 with great stories and great plots. But then we go to games like Neverwinter Nights, which is just... it's a challenge. It's a story that you're playing with your friends. It's a tabletop game, essentially. A tabletop game on a PC.
Right.
There's strategery to it.
Yeah.
Right. And that's okay. I like the combat system of this game. Isn't on level 5, I get these 3 spells now. I can do this. I get these runes. Whatever the nonsense is that most RPGs have fallen into that cookie cutter build. They're saying it's gonna take a lot of effort to learn how to fight. And I think like Terra, that MMO that just came out, I've seen that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's all based on you actually have to move your mouse and do different attacks and stuff along with coinciding with your skills, which is interesting. It's like not just learning the skill, but now you actually got to perfected, you know?
Okay. There's one last really good thing about the game that I wanted to talk about, the awards. The rewards for donating to this Kickstarter, if you donate 10 pounds, you get the game.
Right.
I believe it's 20 pounds, you get access to the beta. 40 pounds is access to the alpha.
Right, I think so. I think I wrote it down somewhere. Let's see here. 40, yeah, you get the alpha and the beta.
And then at 150 pounds, you get to design a character and they will put that character in the game for you.
Right.
Which is pretty cool, because
Right.
it's still early enough in the game that you can do that.
Right, make a name, background story, everything. The biggest thing, we haven't even touched on it yet. We kind of talked about the map editor and stuff like that. Like, hopefully they were going to put that in. If that's foundational, like cornerstone, you're going to have make this game more popular than it possibly could be. You know, it's going to keep going on forever and ever. But if this guy or even these 5 people coded this all by themselves, they made their own engine. The game doesn't load. There's no load. It loads one time and the game just keeps going. You know, that's amazing. Like, what companies aren't going to want this? Like, why don't people develop this yet? You know?
Oh yeah, I can definitely see other companies being interested in adopting this, like BioWare or something, asking to adopt parts and aspects of this engine to build new D&D based games.
Oh right. Oh, for
I
sure.
could see them selling it straight out. I mean, if this doesn't work out, I don't see why not. You
Oh.
could just sell the whole engine to a company and then they can develop the game.
Right. Well, I think that's obviously now that it's gotten this much publicity, that's the next step. If they don't get funding, it's going to be sold to somebody else. Right? We're never going to see this game probably. You know, which you can't blame the people for. Hopefully, I mean, they have obviously a lot of desire to make a game they've always wanted to make. So I'm sure it's going to come out in some form or fashion eventually. But that engine's amazing. Like, it seems like it's not like the Unreal Engine, you know, where it takes a lot of technical knowledge and stuff. I mean, I'm sure building it did, but it seems like, you know, you're using it as you're editing. Like, you're actually playing as a character while you're walking around editing, adding lights and taking stuff away. You know, it's really neat.
It does seem very intuitive.
Right.
Absolutely. So, you guys want to take a step back and talk about some stuff that we didn't like?
Yeah, sure.
I think, Curiel, you're the one who's most just apprehensive, just ready to, a little
Well, I
more
just don't
skeptical.
think, I don't think we have enough information. You know, it looks amazing. The graphics were beautiful, and I mean, it looks absolutely amazing. The graphics were beautiful. The physics, all the technical stuff is very impressive. But there's you know, there was, and it's an alpha. I don't want to harp on this thing because I don't want people to get all mad at me and say, "Oh, you're being so mean." You know, you haven't even played the game. Well, yeah, that's what
That's
we do.
bullshit you pull with the Remy.
Well, we review things that don't exist yet, guys. So it's
No.
just kind of
No.
it is what it is. But like, if you guys noticed the fighting, you know, I mean, okay, so there was a very impressive technical aspect of it, but the other aspect of it was the fact that it was extremely unpolished. The fighting was not graceful. We talked about physics and things, and while I do think it was very impressive, you know, the guy got hit over the head with like a giant flail that was half the size of his body, and he kind of just like, you know, kind of fell to the ground. You know, he should have flown. You know what I mean? And then when the swords hit, it just seemed like a child flailing.
Like, it looked like a drunk guy.
Well, they did
And they
did say
didn't-
that's part of the
They're
skill
gonna
set.
fix it, yeah.
They said that's part of the
They're
skill
gonna fix
set. As
that.
you get better skills,
Right.
you become more polished in your fighting. The other thing is, of course, the skeleton hitting him with the flail didn't hurt very much because, you know, skeletons don't have good muscle.
Well, I was talking about the ogre, but
Yeah, how do
like
you
my
even
thing
know
was
the
like,
ogre
you
one?
didn't see as the swords were swinging, you couldn't tell when the sword was actually making contact. For all these games, one of the most important things in order to get it to feel right is it's very important for there to be a feeling of impact when a weapon strikes.
Oh,
anything.
definitely.
There needs to be collision detection because
Right.
that's how this game runs. Everything's a
Right.
3D model.
And so I think this is just because it's an alpha. I don't think it's
Right.
an issue. I mean, I think you can clearly tell that this guy has great attention to detail. He's clearly very technically savvy.
I mean, this guy.
So I think they're
in
working
his
on
spare
it.
time.
I thought
They
it was
really
interesting.
need to work on that though, because the fighting to me was while impressive, it was very soulless.
I thought it was smooth. When I first saw
It was
this,
smooth.
like, okay, well, yeah, like, that's what you're saying. Like, 'cause there's games I've played, like first-person shooters and stuff, that you're firing and killing people, but you don't feel like your gun's that strong. You feel like you're just, you know what I mean? There's no
Right.
feeling of impact. There's no vibration. You know, but I felt like the animations were very, very smooth. Like even when he was like flailing wildly like a drunk person with two swords, it looked great. The animations looked great, and it wasn't you never saw the same like swing twice. You know what I
Well,
mean?
you won't. It's procedural animation, so
Right.
the game calculates everything out as it's happening, so you shouldn't see everything twice.
Right.
That's part of the amazing thing about this engine.
One thing I was worried about the game is they aren't really sure what they're going to do with multiplayer yet.
Right.
Right now I think they've confirmed LAN multiplayer.
Hopefully, yeah.
But not really like MMO style, which I guess I'm okay with that too. But
Right.
you know, you can't always LAN with your friends.
Right, and you know, I mean, that's the kind of like the Dungeons and Dragons mindset that these people have, which is great, you know. But like sitting there having like everybody's kind of playing around each other, kind of like a tabletop game. It'd be kind of cool.
Well, and going back to the editor too, if you are going to set this up as a Dungeons and Dragons type of game, you need to have somebody with an editor so they can be the DM, so they can be the world. So.
Yeah, and they kind of hinted at that too. One of the points was like he was saying you can edit it while people are playing in the game. And I don't know if he was saying that because he was editing it while he was actually using the character and he was trying to edit the environment around him and stuff. Well, that's actually a really cool feature too, because like I mentioned earlier, Unreal Engine, so stuff Source doesn't have that. You actually have to like edit, then go and see how it looks, and then come back to editor and go, you know, back and forth the entire time. But I hope that he meant more like you're saying, like you guys are fighting in this room. Meanwhile, I'm developing this next room full of mobs and building, you know.
Absolutely. So another thing I'm a little bit worried about is they said that you won't need a top-of-the-line PC, but I don't see how you can play this game without a top-of-the-line PC.
Right.
If I'm going to play this game, I want to see it in super high def. I want to zoom in on like the individual apples.
Right.
You need to see this game in 1080p.
Oh, exactly. Or if your monitor can go higher than that, I mean, now that most expensive ones can. I think it's very interesting. Like, it's not really a frame rate intensive game, whereas like like a first-person shooter, for example, you want 60 frames or higher. For this, it's going to be more of a slow-paced kind of game, but I want like full graphics. The shadows were amazing. Like when they were fighting and stuff, that was really awesome. Gorgeous. And I don't know, it just seems like an amazing engine. It's hard for me to believe this guy coded it all by himself, or even just for the people.
And in his spare time.
Yeah, that's crazy. I don't know. Actually, I was reading online on the forums, and some people don't even believe him. There's people that straight out are calling him a liar. I mean, I believe him, but it's freaking impressive. Yeah. I just, it makes me feel inferior.
The 30-day thing. The only 30 days for this project. You know, and they said that they just discovered Kickstarter. You can do it longer than 3 months or so, I believe, from what I've seen.
Well, I did see people in the forums said that if this Kickstarter does fail for whatever reason, we should all just do PayPal and just give them the £10.
Yeah, oh for sure. It reminds me, we haven't mentioned like Minecraft and other games like this, but like this is an indie developer, and it's just what it seems like procedural programming, like the worlds where you're building it yourself, stuff like that is like what people really, really want. And there's like games like Madden that come out every year. Call of Duty now, Battlefield's going that direction. Like season passes with like DLC content and stuff. It's not what people want. They want a game in its entirety, and they want to be able to change it the way they want to.
Absolutely.
And I'm glad to see indie developers doing this. This is awesome.
So let's just take not so much a final vote, but just final thoughts. I think we're all going thumbs up on this one. Thumbs up. Thumbs up.
Yeah, based off what we know.
What do you think?
Honestly, it's like pre-alpha, so I don't know. It's everything I've seen is amazing. So we'll see how it goes. I mean, they still need a storyline. They still need to work on the fighting. We don't know if this fighting is engaging or not. We don't know we don't know anything. So far, it's very impressive. There's a lot of hype out there. A lot of big names that are already looking at this. PC Gamer has a little blurb about it. Rocks Paper Shotgun is doing something, a little article on it. John Walker over there thinks that every game should be made using this engine. So for something that's been out for such a short amount of time, it's got a lot of hype, and hopefully it's good. But hopefully they take care of things. This guy loves the tactical aspects. He'll get that part right. Will he make the fighting engaging? Will he make it interesting? Will he fix the smoothness of the fighting and the physics so that it doesn't look so goofy? We don't know. I think he will, but only time will tell.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think to be commercially successful, I think as far as like video game people, gamers around everywhere are gonna love this game. I mean, people, especially people who are fans of like the action RPG genre, for sure it's gonna be popular. And it's DRM free. That's interesting. We haven't seen that since like the 90s, early 2000s. You trade your friend your CD and stuff and play it. There's no, nothing to worry about.
You don't go to jail.
You don't go to jail. Yeah.
Copyright infringement.
But I think it's, I think to be commercially successful, we need more information. It's not coming out to May 2014. So a lot of time.
It's got a lot of time left.
Yeah, and I see a pretty polished product so far. You know, like you're saying, it's a storyline. You know more about it, a little bit multiplayer. That's crucial to me, I think. Crucial, and be able to make your own stories. So I have the map editor and whatnot.
And fix the fighting so it doesn't look like two girls in a cat fight.
Right. Because it looked like the last fight. Not to go back to our discussion, but the last fight looked like
Just
somebody
flailing a little
higher
bit.
up level had like armor and stuff, fighting this big troll looking thing. And
Yeah, you almost wonder if it's even possible to beat a troll in that game.
Yeah.
Because it's just going to swing its hand and just knock
Yeah.
you over every time.
exactly.
I think this game is going to be fantastically successful, assuming that they just don't do it wrong. And at this point, it would be hard to do it wrong.
Right. How much hype as it has.
Yeah,
The
so-
groundwork has been laid, so hopefully they just get enough creative people.
I hope the hype doesn't kill it. You know what I mean? Like, it seems to me like, hype, like.
Well, hype can only kill it if it sucks, right? If there's a lot of hype and you make a great thing, then what does it matter? So
That's true. That's very true.
So right now they have 19 days to go. If you guys like this Kickstarter, which I mean,
We'll have a link below for sure.
we're all putting money down on it. So if you like it, go ahead and put money down on it too.
Oh,
Fingers crossed for this one.
Definitely.
So thanks for joining us again. I'm Conrad,
I'm Grant.
I'm Curio.
and that's Peter. Excuse the scruffiness. All of us have not shaved since October 31st. We're all participating in No Shave November.
I shaved today.
No, you didn't.
No, you just can't.
You just don't grow facial hair. It's Bulgarian.
All right, fair enough. Well, it's definitely not a Bulgarian thing, but
Make sure you follow us on Twitter at VividLightTV.
Boom. Our website should be up very soon. We said every week, but kind of hoping it will be up very soon. No one knows for sure.
No one knows.
Even the doctors don't know.
we like to keep you guessing.
Yeah.
And next week is Thanksgiving, so we'll have something on probably, but maybe like an old,
It might be a bad video.
maybe a pretty bad video, but maybe blooper reel. No one really knows. So anyway, stay tuned to next week.
Thanks for watching, guys.